everybody. Mike in Detroit here. How you doing? Today, as the banner says, I want to take you through some beginner stuff on passing chords. And this is for any of us that play chordal instruments. So you could be on your guitar. Hey, Gino, how you doing? You could be on a piano, or you can be on a whatever chordal instrument that you play. That's what we're going to be talking about. Also, I'm going to take you through some simple songs, or a couple of simple songs. But really the concept that I'm after are these passing chords that you can stick in between different chords to enrich your song. So what I was playing there during when I first opened this video was a pretty basic gospel-y kind of progression. A 1 chord, I'm in the key of C, to a 5 chord, to a 6 chord, to a 4 chord. Here I am to worship, here I am to bow down, here I am to say that I give myself away. I give myself away so you can use me. As you can see, these progressions are rinse repeat. They're used in countless songs. So if you watched any of my previous videos, that's true in jazz, that's true in pop, that's true. These composers know what the audience wants to hear. So if you're a beginner up to intermediate pianist or guitarist, well, learn these progressions and you're learning songs they haven't even written yet. So this is a very common one. Once again, it is a 1, 5, 6, 4. You probably can hear some pop songs in there. You just change the rhythm up. Or use that progression to write your own song. So that's the pillars of the song. That's the chord progression that's given by the composer. A big study, and I might talk about this in another video, is how to hear that on the radio or in a on YouTube or on Spotify or wherever you listen to your music, and you hear something like, and your ear says, oh, that's a 1, 5, 6, 4 progression. Your ear picks that up. But that's a subject for another day. Today what we're going to do is we're going to fill in gaps, fill in these gaps. And passing chords, that's a big subject. That's a big subject. We will maybe tackle that subject in several videos. But this is enough for you beginners to get in the game. You early intermediate folks to get in the game. So let's get rolling on this and let's get you going. So now the first thing you have to know is your scale. And I would recommend, and I've said this before, know all 12 major scales, especially in your right hand. So here's C, D flat, D, E flat, E, F, G flat or F sharp. Let's go down here. G, A flat, A, B flat, B, and back to C again. That's foundational. That's every beginner has to know that. I mean, you just have to memorize that. And also, let's add on to that. Let's go back to the key of C. That we want to put on top of those scales diatonic harmony. Let's just do it in triads. The 1 chord is a major chord. The 2 chord is minor. 3 chord is minor. Although the 3 chord is often played this way. It's often played as a 1/3. Or if you're in jazz, if you're a jazzer, play 3 minor. If you're a gospel person, play 1/3. Let's go back to 1, 2. This has that gospel sound that you're familiar with. So the 3 chord is a 1/3 in gospel, but it's a minor in jazz. Okay, 4 chord, major, 5 chord, major, 6 chord is minor, 7 chord is kind of a diminished chord. I call it a minor 7 flat 5, but it really is in triad land, it's a diminished chord, and we're back to 1. Now, let's go back to the 7 chord. There again, often in gospel, you'll hear a 5/7. In other words, the right hand is playing a 5, and the left hand is playing a 7. So that's kind of your diatonic harmony, at least in root position. Okay, so each one of those triads has inversions. Here's the one. Here's and so on and so on and so forth. A lot of foundational building blocks work to get you going to these passing chords. And I did a series of videos for beginners a year or 2 ago. So go back and reference that as well, because I'm giving you a little bit of rapid fire because I want to get to these passing chords, or at least get you going on these passing chords. Now, so why do I need inversions? Well, what if I want to go from 1 to 4? Well, that's quite a bit of a jump, so I can just go here and play an inversion. What if I wanted to go from F to G? Well, I can just find the nearest inversion of that. And if I want to go from G to C, now don't be afraid of these black keys. Let's just do one. Let's just do diatonic harmony, root position in D flat. Well, D flat. Well, first let's learn the scale. D flat is 1, E flat is 2, F is 3, G flat is 4, A flat is 5, B flat is 6, C is 7, and now we're back to 1 again. Now let's add chords to that. 1 chord. Here's the 2 chord, E flat minor. F minor is 3. G flat is 4. A flat is 5. B flat minor is 6. C diminished, or it's a minor 7, flat 5 I call it. Here's a minor chord with 1 flat to 5, you get that. That's why I call it a minor 7 flat So don't be afraid of these black keys. A lot of people run from them. I don't know. They're just notes, just like white keys are. Oftentimes we will end up, especially you jazz lovers, you run from sharp keys. So let's just do one of those. We're not running from anything. So now we're in the key of D. So first thing to do is get the D scale. 1 is D, 2 is E. We know that 2 is minor, 3 is F sharp, 4 is G, 5 is A, B is 6, and then C sharp is 7. Now let's play some chords with that. Now we need, so I'm on the 2 chord, I'm on an E minor. Now I could have played on the 2 chord. Okay, so on the 3 chord I could play that if I'm gospel-y, or I could play that if I'm jazzy. So I could play this or this. And now I'm on the 4 chord, G. On the 5 chord I'm going to play this, A. Back to D. So you get the idea. Learn your diatonic chords in all 12 keys. Play them up and down. Just sit there, playing. So I kind of rushed through that a little bit. So let me bring in my little. Let's see if my computer will cooperate with me this morning. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna hide my keyboard a little bit, and then I'm gonna write on here the chord progression I was playing before. It was a 1, 5, 6, 4. So let's call that the. Let me make that a little bit bigger. So back to the key of C, that tells me to play some kind of 1 chord. 5 chord, 6 chord. Here I am to worship. Here I am to say that. Now I played all 4 of those chords in root position. Didn't have to do that. I could have played it. I could have found versions to play it. Let's try it. Now I'm going to the 5 chord. Now I notice that I already have a G here. That time I used triad inversions to give me smoother voice leading. Stay with this step before you, now passing chords, what we're going to do with passing chords is we're going to stick some stuff in between these chords here. We're going to stick something between those chords to add movement, to add interest, to add spice. And depending on what we add, it's also going to depend on the genre of music we're playing. But as I said, passing chords pass from one chord to another. It's a chord that you're going to insert into a space, to this space right here. that gets you from this chord to that chord, or from this chord to that chord, etc. We're going to stick a chord in there that you hear chordal guitarists use it all the time, pianists use them all the time, and it also it's a subject that's been reserved for advanced folks, but that's baloney. That's baloney. Beginners can start using passing chords, and I'm going to prove that to you in just a few minutes. But in order to get to the passing chords, if this is making any sense, you got to get your pillars down, your main chords of the song, which are 1, 5, 6, 4. Okay, so got that. So let me move this out of the way. So now the first passing chord I want to show you is, and the reason why I went through diatonic harmony is because you can pass from above or below diatonically. You can pass, so let's put this back over here. And then I'll do this, and then I'll move it out of the way so you can see what I'm playing. So I gotta get from the 1 to the 5. So I'm here, and I gotta get to here. And I know you can't see my virtual keyboard right now, but I'll play it again and move this out of the way in just a second. So I can go. Now rhythm is important here. Rhythm is important here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Here's with the passing chord. 1, 2, 3. See, so the 5 has to come in on time. So let's do it a different way. You see how I used a chord to pass. I still ended up on the 5 chord, but I did something there, or I did that. So let me move this out of your way so I can tell you what I just did. No big secret, and it's pretty easy too, by the way, if you know your diatonic harmony. So here's a rule, write this down. Whatever chord you're going to, right, you can approach it diatonically from above or below. Okay, so I know I'm making you dizzy, so let's move this back over here. Whoops. That tells me that I can, let me change the color here, that I can approach that 5 chord either with a 6 or a 4. I can approach that with a 6 chord or a 4 chord. That's what my rule is telling me. And that's kind of what I just played. So here is a 1 chord. Where's the 6 chord? Here it is. And then it gets me to the 5 chord. Right? Here's a 1 chord. I need to end up on the 5 chord, so I'm going to go below. Hear that all the time. Or, now, you say, well, it's not so much that I'm trying to teach you how to play Here I Am to Worship. It's that you want that passing chord. You want this little chunk right here in any key you want to play in. So you're going to be going to the 5 chord in lots of songs. Doesn't matter where you came from, it's where you're going to. So anytime you see a 5 chord, you can approach it with a 6 chord. It's going to sound like that. or you can approach it with a 4 chord, diatonically. So let's find another key. Let's try F. And now that I'm playing, let's move this out of the way. And I'm trying to give you a methodology that you can practice this. Now you could just play Here I Am to Worship in all 12 keys and that'll get you there. But I like chunking. I like chunking, sequencing chunks. So now I have a chunk that I can work on. Get very micro with it. So I need to approach the 5 chord of any key. That's my goal. That's what I'm doing today. Now I'll do the rest of this some other day or some other time because I'm a pretty beginner and I just can't take or drink all this in. So now I'm in the key of F. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, there's my target. And here's 6, 7, 1. Now I know. Now I can play in the key of F. 1. There's a G minor. A minor is 3. B flat major is 4. C is 5. 6. Boom. Sorry, is this. So, I'm pretty satisfied with step 1. I got my diatonic chords figured out in the key of F. So now I need to go from 1, 2, 3, 4 to the 5 chord. Let's do that a few times. 1, 2, 3. Let's do an inversion. But if you don't want to do inversions, just stay here. I don't know where you are as far as raw beginner, late beginner, intermediate. So I'm trying to target that area, high, low, intermediate. So if you need to do root position, then by all means you do so. 1, 2, 3 to the 5, 2, 3. Now some of you can do 1, 2, 3 to an inversion of the 5. Some of you can do that inversion of the 1 chord. Pick your spot. Where are you as far as your level? But let's do root position. 1, 2, 3 to the 5 chord. Now, a 4 chord can approach a 5 chord, as we just indicated in the key of C. 1, 2, 3. Let me go a little bit slower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. Okay, a 6 chord can approach the 5 chord. Okay, so what's the 6 chord? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 chord is minor, 4 chord is major. 1, 2, 3. So anytime you see a song with a 5 chord in it, you can approach that or use a passing chord to hip it up. So let's do that 1 to 5. I don't know, let's take another key. Let's take E flat. I'm showing you a process here. So what's the 1 chord in E flat? Well, E flat is 1. I'm going to go a little bit faster. F minor is 2. G minor is 3. A flat is 4. B flat is 5. C minor 6. And we have this D minor 7, flat 5. Step one, complete. I have my diatonic triads in that key. Now, in the key of E flat, I need to get from the 1 chord to the 5 chord. Now, I can do inversions, but let's just, I already wore that little subject out, so let's do root position chords just so I can get. Now I can go down. I'll do that a few times. 1, 2, 3. I'm slopping that up. 1 to 5. 1 to 5. By the way, you do that long enough, your ear is going to pick that up. You know what a 1 to 5 sounds like. So your ear, you're going to file it, the sound as a 1 to 5. But that's ear training. So now I need a passing chord that gets me from the 1 to the 5. So I can use a diatonic passing chord above or below. So what's the 4 chord? Well, I can go. Well, how do I know that? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's the 4 chord, and that gets me to the 5 chord. Exactly the way you want to practice it. 4, 5. By the way, that's a nice chord progression. 4, 5, 1. But I digress. So we need to get it from the 1 chord to the 5 chord. We're in the key of E flat. You do this in all 12 keys, or else the video will be 3 hours long. Okay. Now, what we want to do is pass to that 5 chord in the key of E flat. So let's do it. Make sure you arrive at the 5 chord on time. So let's try 6 chord to you see how these passing chords really set up and enrich. Now these passing chords, if you're reading fake books or lead sheets, they're never going to be written anywhere. You just have to know these. And you'll hear them, anybody that's intermediate or advanced are going to be wearing these passing chords out. They're playing them a lot. You say, well, I didn't see that in the fake book. Well, yeah, you just know these passing chords. And there are many of them. The diatonic passing chords are just step 1. These are just the easiest ones. They also reinforce the fact that you got to learn your diatonic harmony to play it. So let's go back over here so we kind of beat that horse a little bit. So we can get from the 1 to the 5, either above or below. Now, let's go back to the key of C. Now we got to get to the 6 chord. Well, I already told you, so now we're here, we got to get over here to the 6 chord. Well, you can approach that from above or below. Well, below doesn't work because you're already on the 5 chord. You can play the 5 chord again if you want to. So here I am to worship. Let's go below. You can play the 5 chord again. See how that passes? in the key of C, that's A minor. Or you can use a B chord to diatonically, it's a B half diminished chord, minor 7 flat 5. Especially if you're a jazzer, this is the chord you want. I'll move this out of the way in a second. But now my target is the 6th chord. Okay, let me move this. Move this so you can see what I am exactly playing here. You can look at my virtual keyboard. So that is diatonic. That's within the key. B, D, F. It's a minor 7 flat 5. And that passes to, that's above. That passes to A minor. If you're a gospel person, you probably play this. That's a 5 over 7, or you can play this. So that's G over B. 5 over 7, that's gospel. Or you can play it in this version. So, diatonically, you can go above or below your target chord to get you where you need to be. So we have a 1 chord. We need to get to the 5 chord, so let's pass through the 6. Now we're on G. Actually, we can. This is nice voice leading because we can just change our bass note to a B. Didn't have to change our right hand at all. Now we only have 1 more chord to go. We have 1 more chord to go here. So let's move this back over here. Now we gotta get to the 4 chord. Oh, by the way, I should have mentioned it. Make sure you can approach the 6th chord. Now there's another chunk. That's another. There's another chunk. Make sure you can approach the 6th chord in all 12 keys, above or below. Take that chunk and work it out. But now I got to get to the 4 chord. I can go 5 4, or I can go 3 4. Now, you see how I'm using diatonic harmony to pass between my pillars, between my chords of the song. So now I need the 4 chord. So I can go, if I'm a jazz person, I'm going to play an E minor to F. If I'm a gospel person, I'm going to play C over E. There's a C chord going to an F chord. Or I can go from a 5 to a 4. So let me put the illustration up for you again. And that's all I'm going to do today, because that's a lot of work to do. Now there are lots of passing chords, and I'm going to get into several of them, but not today. Not today. I don't want to throw the book at you in one day. So let's go back to, let's try the key of, let's do the key of C. I'm on the 1 chord. I need to get to the 5 chord. Let's go below. Now I need to get to the 6th chord. Well, I'm already on, so I'm going to play that 5 over 7 to get me to the 6th chord. Let's do a 1 over 3 to, that gets me to the 4 chord. Put that in some context. So let's play it without passing chords. Here I am to worship, bow down. Let's play it with passing chords. You see how these passing chords add a lot to your music. Okay, let me move that out of the way. And all the way out of the way. Get out of here. So now I'm going to play that same thing again so that you can look at the virtual keyboard. 2, 3, no passing chords. Oh, wait a minute. Let's start over again. Here and 2, 1, 2, 3, to the 5 chord, to the 6 chord. Now let's play it with passing chords. Pass to 5 chord, pass to the 6 chord. Now your job is to take diatonic passing chords to any key and every key, all 12 keys. Now that's a big bite to bite off of. Take F. Now I need to get from, first of all, you got to know the chord progression of the song. So I just gave you 1, 5, 6, 4. It's common to throw those chords into a shaker, shake them up, and they come out in different order. It's also good to, if you don't know it already, it's good to know the circle of fourths. So let me get my eraser around here and get rid of all this stuff here. And I don't know, you probably may already know this, but I don't know what you know. Throw it in the comments if you know that already. So the circle of fourths goes like C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B, E, A, D, G, and C. That's another good way to practice that. So if I'm in C, and I'm looking at the circle, I need to get to F. Well, I can go, let's say I need to get to B flat. Oh, I can go, let's say if I need to get to E flat. So now, that's a little bit more advanced because you got to know the key that your destination is going to. So, I just played a C chord. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but you'll get the idea. Now my target is F, and I'm thinking in the F scale. So I'm going to go above G minor to F. Why? Because G minor is the 2 of F. Could have went to the 7 of F. G minor, 7 flat 5. What if I'm on F? I want to go to B flat. My thinking just shifts to the B flat scale. It's always the destination. What's the 2 of B flat? Well, C minor is. Sounds so good too. These passing chords really do add a lot. What is below B flat? Well, A minor 7 flat 5 is. You want to really get ambitious? Add inversions. But don't get too ambitious until you really get down. If you need to play root position triads, do so. If you need to do that for 2 months, do that. and so on and so on and so forth. The circle of fourth is just to be memorized. Now, where was I before I digressed on that little rabbit hole we just went down? So we're back to our progression today is a 1 chord, pass to the 5 chord. Let's try this. Let's try. That's a 5/7 going to a 6 chord. To the 4 chord. Now I got to get to the 1 chord. I can pass to that as well. I can go here. Now, I didn't mention that earlier, but we could go a pass to the 1 chord. To the 5 chord. 6 chord. Back to the 1 chord. Let's do this one. You get the idea. Now, on my next video, that I'll work on that a few days, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how to put 2-5-1s to this pass. That's the next step. To, let's say, if I want to get to just a little tease, so that you'll come back. Let's say I'm on C. Right? And I'm trying to get to F. Well, I already showed you that I can go here. But you jazzers were really like, yeah, gospel too. I could do a 2-5-1 to there. I could do a 2-5-1 to give me. That's the next video. So this video is about, I call it sidestepping. It's diatonic movement. You can go whatever your target chord is. You can go above it, below it, and then arrive at the chord that you need to. Let's just go out with a jazzier version. Let's take Misty. Now, usually you'll see some kind of B flat 7. But I could, so my chord is E flat major. Well, I could have approached that with its 2 chord. Could have went. Approach that with a step below. I could have went here. It's a way to add new sounds, so diatonic passing chords is the way that I think to get started. So my chord is, let me play it in triad. I played it kind of big fat chords. So my chord is E flat. That's the chord, that's my destination chord. Well, if I want to go below E flat in the key of E flat, that's this. It's a D minor 7 flat 5. If I want to go above E flat, I play an F minor. Learn a little bit about chord voicing. I go. Okay, now I went off the rails here, so that's an F minor 9. Little treat for you, higher intermediate. So instead of going by the fake book, I put my own passing chord in there. I went here. How did I get there? I I know that I can go above. There, watch my bass note. Oh, yeah, watch my bass note. And you can't see a thing. So let me. I sorry. Let's move that out of the way. Let's move this over here. Yeah, I probably should do all of that over again because you didn't see any of that. That's an F minor 9. And, well, how did I get all that? Because I know from triad land, I went from F minor, or I can go below. All I did was put some voicings on that. I went. You see how these diatonic sidestepping fillers gets me from one chord to the other. The next chord is, that's just a 2-5-1. And I've talked extensively about 2-5-1s, both major and minor. I'll get there, and now we're gonna steal that and use it in passing chords, but I'll get to that in another video. Okay, so you get the idea. So for you beginners, work on a key, get a key. Let's say I'm going to the 2 chord. Well, I can go above it or below it. The trick is knowing your diatonic harmony. And today I just did it in triads. You could do it in 7th chord. Pick another key, do that. Pick another key, do that. Pick another key. Now, you want to take those chords, once you know your diatonic harmony, know your destination progression, the pillars of the chord progression, and then use above and below diatonically to approach that. It's not that tough. It does take a little bit of practice though. All right, that's it for today. Let me know if this is helpful. Comment down below there. And let me know next time we're going to be dealing with more that sound, the 2-5-1 sound, to get me where I need to go. And then maybe we'll see how far this passing chord little series takes us. Mike in Detroit. We'll talk to everybody soon. Take care. Bye-bye.